What's up, YouTube? I'm back today with some more minor league content. Today, we're going over the updated top 100 list on the MLB Pipeline, which includes draft picks from the 2022 draft. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. That's what we're going to do. We're going to jump into it pretty quick here, honestly. I'm going to try to go through it pretty quick because this is like the third video of the year I've done on top 100 lists. So it's going to be a lot of the same guys. We're going to go through it pretty quick. There is some new names on this list, though. I've only seen the top 5 on this list. I haven't looked at anything else yet. But I did read that there's 11 prospects from the 2022 draft that made the top 100. So that's crazy. Let's jump into it. All right, jumping into player number 100, Zach Geloff. He's hitting 300 this year at AA. Absolutely deserves where he's at. Honestly, I'd have him a little bit higher. Probably have him like top 75 with how well he's done getting thrown straight into AA. Next up, Nick Gonzalez. This one's interesting because they're kind of going up and down with him a lot. Like, he was like the 70 range, and then he jumped all the way to like top 25, and then now he's at 99. So he did get hurt this year, and he did struggle a little bit. 246 in his time this season. I still would have him higher than 99. I think his injury this year did affect him. But it is what it is, you know. 98, Campusano. Honestly, I get him out of top 100 at this point. He's just been in there too long. He just doesn't seem like the Padres want to give him a chance. Emmanuel Rodriguez. This is an interesting player here. Massive on-base percentage guy. 492 on-base percentage this year. He's only played at low A, but he's young. He's only 19 years old. So, yeah, I love that. 1043 OPS. He's absolutely dominated low A. I don't know why they don't move him up. 9 home runs over 47 games. I think he did get hurt, but definitely like that ranking. Again, I've said it many times. Anyone between 90 and 100 can kind of be whoever as long as they're decent. This one's interesting. Tink Hence. I remember he had a card in, I think, Bowman draft for the Cardinals last year. 1.18 ERA over 12 starts this year. That's interesting. I'm fine with that. Brandon Pfat having actually a really good year. So he struggled at AA, 4.5, but since he's been at AAA, he's had 3 starts, 2.37 ERA. A lot of strikeouts this year, too. 144 strikeouts at 105 innings at AA, and then 22 and 19 so far. Cool with that. This one's super interesting to me. This is my honorable mention in my top 10 favorite draft picks. Brock Porter from the 2022 draft. He dropped all the way to the 4th round, and he was going to be my number 10 guy on my video. So I ended up making an honorable mention because he ended up going down in the 4th round. I think that's crazy. It's probably the first time ever we've seen a 4th rounder in the top 100. But he has crazy stuff. Absolutely love Brock Porter. Alec Burleson at 93. I think it's fine. Again, he's a little old, but he is hitting really well at AAA, 325. Alcantara at 90. I think he should be a little bit higher than this, but I mean, it is what it is. Does K a decent amount. But, I mean, he has good tools. 13 home runs, 350 on base percentage. I like Alcantara a lot. I'm fine with it. Alex Ramirez, kind of a similar type player. Big power bat. Yeah, I'm cool with 90. Joey Weimer at 89. I like it, but he has kind of shown that he can be inconsistent offensively. Just isn't getting on base how I think a lot of people thought he would. He went from having a 400 on base percentage at low and high A to basically right around 300. So not great there. Jackson Merrill at 88. Wow. Okay. This is interesting because he hasn't played that many games. He's only played 35 games this year, though he is doing really well. 350 with 400 on base percentage. I don't really care about the rookie ball numbers, so I care more about the low A. Hitting 330 with the 388 on base percentage, 815 OPS. Not bad. Again, I'm fine with that. Austin Wells at 87. I'm cool there. He's had a really solid year. Flirting with, 400 on base percentage, has shown some power. He's got 13 home runs. Did get injured before he got moved up to AA. Carson Williams at 86. I think people are a little too high on Carson Williams personally. I don't think I'd have him in my top 100 yet. He just hasn't done much to impress other than his 15 home runs. And again, home runs are cool. Love the power, but I don't know. 250 in low A is nothing crazy for me. It's not like he has like a 400 on base percentage or anything. Liberatore 85. I don't really need to talk about him or Prado. I don't consider them prospects anymore. They've been on this list forever. 83. Gordon Grashefo. This is another interesting here. This was a 5th round draft pick back in 2021. He's done really good this year. 2.91 ERA over high A and AA. So I mean, I don't hate it. I think it's fine. Fosco at 82. he's a good player. He's a really good player, but he doesn't have anywhere to go in this Rangers organization, so I think he's going to be a trade piece. Gavin Stone, really solid season. Really solid season. Former 5th rounder back in 2020. These Dodgers coaches, man, they just get these pitchers to pitch really well. Between high A and double A, 1.56 ERA this year. Vaughn Grissom at 79, thank you. I'm fine with that. Honestly, probably closer to the top 50 for me. Bo Naylor, I don't even have him on my list anymore. I don't know. I'm kind of over Bo Naylor. He's 22. He's still not super old or anything, but I don't know. He's getting on base a lot, but I don't know. I don't see him being consistent at the MLB level. Perrotta at 77. I don't consider him anymore, so we don't need to talk about him. Good pitcher, though. Matt Mclean at 76. I'd have him lower than this, personally. I do think they kind of did him a disservice by throwing him straight into double A. He's kind of proved that he's not ready for it. He does have a decent amount of home runs there, but I don't know. I would have started him somewhere else. All right, so now we got 2 draft picks here. Gavin Cross, one of my top 10 guys. So far in 2022, absolutely killing it at rookie ball and low A. 2 home runs in his first 8 games. Love that. 430 on base percentage. And then Jace Young, off to a slower start, but I love him as well. I think he's going to be really good. Arelis at 73. Honestly, I'm putting Arelis in like my bottom 90 right now. Like, he's got to be in the 90-100 range. He just can't hit. He just straight up cannot hit. He's in 212. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if I have him on my top 100 anymore, honestly. Love the 27 home runs. The dude can hit for power. But, like, at what point does that power matter, you know? Like, I've seen some really, really bad hitters hit a lot of home runs, so I don't know. I would have him like the 90s range. Brian Roshio, I'm fine with this. He has shown a little bit of struggles this year, but he's been pretty consistent. I'm okay at 72 there. Hunter Brown at 71, I think should be higher. He's just absolutely dominated this year. 2.45 at AAA. Ken Waldechuck, again, another guy who's done very well. Since he got traded, kind of struggling a little bit, but only 2 starts there. Pages at 69. I'm cool with it. Again, I wish I could see a little more consistency out of him, but he's not doing terrible. 826 OPS with 21 home runs. Harry Ford jumps all the way up to 68. I love this because I'm a Harry Ford fan. I think it might be a little high for now. I do think he's good. Big walk guy. He's going to get on base at a very high rate, but I would like to see the power tick up just a little bit. But really good athlete. Love that. Logan O'Hoppe at 67, I think, is way too high. I don't even have him in my top 100. I know he's a catcher. He's only 22. 274 with a 395 on base percentage this year is actually pretty good. His numbers aren't bad. 20 home runs. I don't know. I'm not a believer in Logan O'Hoppe. Next up, Drew Romo at 66. I think he's a little high. I think he's a good player. And I know people love catchers, and I do think he's a solid catcher. But I think he's a little bit high. I think he's a good player, though. But he'd be in like my 80s, maybe 90s range, too. Next up, over Puguero. I'd have him lower as well. I don't even know if I'd have him in my top 100, honestly. I'm just not a believer in him. 262 with a 300 on base percentage. I just don't think he's ever going to... I just think he's always going to have issues getting on base. Next up, Adele Amador. Love this. Honestly, I maybe even have him a little bit higher. He is super young, though, so it is kind of hard to jump him up that high. But at 64, I'm cool with it. Absolutely dominating this year. Absolutely dominating at low A. 300 batting average, 423 on base percentage, 14 home runs. Yeah, amazing. Cam Collier, another one of my guys in the draft video I made. So a lot of those guys showing up here. So far in 2022, over his first 5 games, he's got a home run. He's in 333 with a 474 on base percentage. Love Cam Collier. I think he's going to be super good. 62, Owen White. Meh. He's good, but I won't put him at 62. I don't even know if I'd have him in my top 100. Royce Lewis, again, if he can stay healthy, I'm fine with it, but he can't. So I would take him out of the top 100 at this point. He just cannot stay on the field. Colson Montgomery at 60 is awesome. Honestly, I probably have him closer to 50 right now. He's just been a really super solid this year. Love what I'm seeing out of him. Evan Carter at 59, I think, is definitely high. Like, I'm not ranking Colson Montgomery lower than Evan Carter. Like, that's crazy to me. 285, 382 on base percentage, 11 home runs. He's having a good year, but he's not as good as some of these other guys. Kate Cavalli at 58. I'm fine with it. He has figured it out at AAA. He's done a lot better recently. 3.82 ERA over 92 innings, 96 strikeouts. Strikeout rate's down this year, but he has figured it out. He started out really bad. Mick Abel at 57. Get out of here. I just don't know why they're obsessed with him still. For another season with over a 4 ERA. No, he's not even in my top 100 anymore. Gavin Williams, I would say breakout of the year. So definitely deserving of this rank. Maybe you could throw him even higher. 1.49 ERA, 90 innings, 117 strikeouts, whip under 1. Just crazy there. Edwin Arroyo at 55. I think this is high. I think Harry Ford's a better prospect than Edwin Arroyo, in my opinion. Arroyo has showed more power. I think this is a high ranking. I have him closer to probably like top 75, top 80. Mason Wynn at 54. I also think this is high, but he has been impressive this year, honestly. 295 with a 364 on base percentage. Plays really good defense. Surprised me, honestly, with 11 home runs. I just don't see him as a big pop guy, but he's been pretty decent. Still think he's a little optimistic, though. Oswald Peraza at 53. I'm fine with it. He's kind of doing his thing down there this year. Started really slow, picking it back up. Jacob Berry, draft guy here. I think it's high. A lot of people are obsessed with Jacob Berry. I'm just not. Again, he's 21. He's not like a super young college guy. I don't know. Like, so far in his career, they started him at rookie ball. He's at low A now. Kind of struggling a little bit so far. But again, he has played 16 games, so the most we've seen so far, and he is struggling a little bit. So we'll see if he can hit wood bat. But I won't have him ranked that high. Brendan Davis at 51 is fine, but he's been hurt all year. Soderstrom at 50 is cool. Again, Soderstrom, I think he would be way up on this list. Like, way, way, way up on this list if he could just hit for average this year. 254 batting average, only 314 on base percentage after hitting 306, 390 at low A. The power is awesome. He's got 22 home runs this year, but, man, it just needs to be more consistent because he could easily be a top 10 guy. Being like a catcher, first baseman, just be more consistent. The power he has is awesome. Frelick at 49, I'm actually fine with. I think Frelick's just a good player. Really good player. Hitting 321 this year, 396 on base percentage. Not a power guy, but man, can he play? Jack Leiter at 48, I get it. The hype's still there. He has struggled this year, though. He is over a 5 ERA. Probably drop him down a little bit from there. Priester at 47, he was dealing with some injuries this year, but he's kind of back to doing his thing. He's a really good pitcher. I'm fine with this ranking. Max Meyer unfortunately got hurt. They say he might be out until 2024. That's so unfortunate. Michael Busch at 45. I'd have him lower at this point. It just doesn't seem like they're going to give him a shot, but I do think he's a good player. Miguel Vargas at 44. I'm cool there. Colton Cowser at 43. I'm fine. Really good player. Dominguez at 42. I'm dropping him down at this point. Again, just not a crazy good year. It's not a bad year, and he is only 19, but just not really doing it for me. I probably have him like the 80 range probably at this point. Job at 41. I don't really know why he hasn't taken more of a hit. Really big slider guy, big spin rate pitcher, but he just hasn't figured it out this year. I'd have him lower than that. Kevin Perrotta at 40. I know everyone's hyped up about him, and he's a catcher. Everyone loves the catchers, especially the Pipeline, man. They love catchers. I guess it's fine, but I mean, we haven't seen him play yet, so I can't really be too opinionated on it. Josh Young at 39 got hurt this year, came back, and he's just dominating. I just think he's one of the best hitters on this whole list. I'd have him a lot higher than this, but again, he's a little bit on the older side. He's 24 now, and he did have an injury. Hopefully see him debut here soon. Honestly, probably a top 10 hitter on the whole top 100. So that's how I feel about him. The ranking makes sense for what he's kind of been through and how old he is. Curtis Mead at 38. Honestly, I just don't agree with it. I definitely like some of these other guys more than Curtis Mead. I think he's a good player, though. He's definitely done well at all levels this year. I don't know. I'll just see more of Curtis Mead before I put him in the top 40. Brian Bale at 37. He's done well this year. Looked really bad at the MLB level. Honestly, I don't think he was ready yet. But he did really good in the minor leagues this year, so I guess that's fine. Langler's at 36. I'm cool with it. He has taken a step forward this year, hitting 283. And he's the best defensive catcher in baseball, so I'm fine with that ranking. James Wood at 35. Wow, humongous jump for James Wood. I don't hate it, though. I don't hate this ranking. I probably have him closer to 50, just because we've only seen him at low A. But, man, he's really good. Wow, that he jumped from, 91 to 35. That's crazy. Ricky Tiedemann at 34. Oh, my. That's a jump. That is a huge jump. And, he's kind of earned that jump. He's done really well. Struggled a little bit in his first 2 starts at AA, but he's done really good. Really good this year. Probably have him again in the 40s range, but hey, he's looked really well. Brooks Lee, another draft guy. I can't believe how many people they put in the draft here. Switch hitter, one of the best, overall bats in the draft. And so far, over how many games he played? 9 games, and 378, 425 on base percentage. He does have a home run. A lot of people love him, so I don't hate 33. Like, I don't hate it. And so far he's balling out, so sure. Valera at 32, I think he's a little high at this point. I do think he's a good player, but I probably have him closer to 50 or 60. They're just kind of taking their time with him. Good player, though, 15 home runs. PCA, I'm cool with this ranking at 31. I think it's actually kind of perfect. He's done really good this year. He's starting to figure out at high A, slowly but surely. Wish he'd be doing better at high A, to be honest, but not bad, not bad, not bad. 15 home runs, love that. 27 stolen bases, absolutely love that. He's had a good year, so I mean, I think 30 is like pretty perfect for him, or 31, I should say. Tamar Johnson at 30, I think is way too high. I'm just not a fan of his swing. I'll be honest, and this is a completely biased just take. I don't like his swing at all. What's he doing so far this year? Over 5 games. Wow, he's hitting under 100. So far, my assumptions is right, and that's at rookie ball. But again, it's only 5 games. Who knows? EA might end up hitting $1 billion. Elijah Green at 29. So ranking Tamar and Elijah right next to each other, I think is fine. I think the ceiling on Elijah Green is possibly the highest in the whole draft. Definitely higher than Tamar Johnson. He's just a freak. So far, he looks like he's doing pretty well. Over 7 games, 333 batting average, 414 on base percentage. Did hit a home run. Striking out a lot, though. Tovar at 28. I don't mind this. He's had a really good year. I don't mind this at all. I think it's fine. Bobby Miller at 27. I'm okay with it. I know the stuff is there. He has struggled a little bit this year, though. I'm okay with that ranking. I don't love it, but I'm fine with it. Cassis at 26. It's fine. I think Cassis, you got to move him down just a little bit now because he's starting to get a little bit older. He's 22. I think the Red Sox just bring him up at this point. You know, I don't see him ever being like a super consistent batting average guy. Like, I think he's going to hit around like 250, 265. But man, if he can figure out his end game power, he's going to hit a lot of home runs. So I'm okay with that ranking still while he's 22. Painter at 25. Love this. Huge Andrew Painter guy. Look what he's done this year. Over 17 starts, 1.19 ERA, 75 innings, 118 strikeouts. I'm cool with him in the top 25. All right, Zach Veen at 24. You know, this is fine. I like Zach Veen a lot. Honestly, if he's higher than this, I wouldn't be mad. If he was inside the top 15, I wouldn't be mad because I think Zach Veen is that type of talent. And if you look at his stats, like, yes, his averages come down this year. His on-base percentage come down this year. But, like, he's done some things really well. He's probably going to have the same amount of power as last year, very close to it. He's stolen 50 bases this year. Love Zach Veen for that. Robert Hassel right above him. They keep grouping these guys together. I think Veen's a little bit higher ceiling than Hassel, but Hassel's a really good player. Really good player. I'm fine with it. Kyle Harrison at 22. He's been awesome this year. This is someone I think is just going to be awesome when he does make the MLB because he is a strikeout artist. 86 innings this year, 143 strikeouts. Just insane. Taj Bradley, again, another absolute stud. Like, stud. Just unreal. 92 innings, 108 strikeouts, 2.24 ERA. I'm cool with that. Henry Davis at 20. Okay, I think this is a little high. I think it's a little bit high. I'd have him like 30, maybe 40 range. Just because he did struggle at AA when they put him there. But I do think Davis is really good. Beatty at 19. Is he making his MLB debut today? I think he is. As of recording this, he just hit his first home run. Unbelievable. So awesome. But he's been so good this year in the minor leagues too. Huge Beatty fan. Marte at 18. I think he's a little high at this point. Good player. He's been super hot the last like month and a half, but I think he's a little high now. I have him closer to 30, maybe even 40 at this point. I don't think he's top 20 anymore. Luciano, kind of similar. Love Luciano, but he just can't stay healthy for whatever reason. He's still at high A at 20 years old. I need him a little bit higher and performing better. So probably like top 25, top 30 for Luciano now. Spino at 16. I'm cool with it. He just hasn't pitched this year, so I think he's an awesome pitcher. He's dealing with some injuries. Ellie De La Cruz at 15. Wow. Huge jump. The talent is 100% there. He's having an awesome year. 25 home runs, and he's done really well at every single level he's been at. So I said last year I didn't like Ellie De La Cruz, and I still have a weird feeling he's going to be O'Neal Cruz-esque and kind of struggle once he faces really good pitching. But so far, he looks really good. Can't really argue with him. Most home runs at AA, I believe, or at least in his league. 14, Jackson Holiday. Okay, so number 1 draft pick, Jackson Holiday. Honestly, I think he's super good. Looks like he's killing it so far this year, too. 375, 545 on base percentage in his first 3 games. Cool. Honestly, I get it. Jordan Lawler at 13. I'm fine with it. He's starting to figure it out at high A, too, because he's really slow. He's up to 271 now, 781 OPS there. But yeah, just absolute freak at low A. He's starting to figure out high A. So he's been putting together like multiple hit games like the last few games. So really happy there. Drew Jones at 12. Wow. I don't know how you rank Drew Jones ahead of Jordan Lawler personally. I know he's younger and he's kind of got a better frame, but not yet. I wouldn't put him there. I'd probably have him like top 15, but I wouldn't have him above Jordan Lawler. Either I'd move up Lawler or I'd put Drew Jones just below him. I don't know. It's just kind of hard when you see someone that did so well already at Pro Ball. Cheerio at 11. I love Jackson Cheerio, but no way do I have him above Jordan Lawler. I'm sorry. I know he's 18 and he's done really well this year. But no, not yet. Not yet. I do think he's really good, though. I think he's damn good. I don't hate the ranking at 11, to be honest. I just think I would have Lawler ahead of him. Probably Beatty ahead of him, too. But he's good. He's good. Okay, I don't hate the ranking. I just would reorder some of these people. Yuri Perez at 10. They love Yuri Perez. And honestly, I get it. I think he's one of my favorite pitchers, too. But I don't know how he went up so high into the top 10 and Taj Bradley didn't when Taj Bradley's been better than him this year. So I don't really get that. I kind of pair Yuri Perez and Taj Bradley together. Who else was next to him? Kyle Harrison, too. Like, at this point, I have those two ahead of Yuri Perez. But I do think Yuri Perez is really good at like 6'6", 6'8", actually. Cartaya at 9. Okay. Pipeline needs to calm down with all these catchers. Cartaya is good, but he's not a top 10 right now. In my opinion, he's very good. He's got 20 home runs this year. Big power bat. But I'm not top 10 in him. Easily top 25, top 20 I'm fine with, but I'm not top 10 in him yet. Marcelo Meyer at 8 is crazy. When the Pipeline likes players, they just get obsessed with them. Like, how is he higher than Jordan Lawler by that much? I'm sorry. Like, I pair those two players together right now because they got drafted right next to each other. Very similar skill set. I will say Meyer's a better defender 100% than Lawler is, but like, I don't know. He's hitting 280 with a 400 on base percentage, 10 home runs. Like, he's good, but I don't have him at 8 right now. No way. Like, top maybe 15, not top 10. Marino at 7. Again, I don't really consider him a prospect, even though they brought him back down. They didn't give him a chance to stay up there. He was hitting just fine up there, too, over his 18 games. So, I don't know. If we're looking at him as a prospect, he's one of the best hitting catchers out there, 100%. Jordan Walker at 6, completely fine with this. I would have him in my top 5, though, honestly. I think Jordan Walker at this point, probably like a top 3 prospect. And I'll kind of talk about that at the end here. Volpe at 5. Sure, he's figured it out. He's definitely done a lot better as of recent. I'm cool with that. Grayson Rodriguez at 4. Yep. Best pitcher in the minor leagues. Corbin Carroll at 3. This is where I start to disagree with a few things. And then again, I'll talk about the top 5 here in a second, but I think Corbin Carroll should be a lot higher. I think Corbin Carroll is the best prospect in baseball right now. And yes, I'm a Diamondbacks fan, but the numbers don't lie. He's hitting 314 this year with a 431 on base percentage and a 1044 OPS. Got 21 home runs, 30 stolen bases. Like, he's doing everything better than everyone. And then even at AAA, since they brought him up, he's hitting 305 with a 422 on base percentage, 938 OPS, like 4 home runs, 10 stolen bases. Like, Corbin Carroll is the number 1 prospect in baseball. Gunnar Henderson, stud, shut me up all year. Again, I still think he's going to be a bust for some reason. It's just a feeling I have, but absolute stud. Again, I'm fine with him in the top 5. And Alvarez at number 1. He's young. He's only 20, which I do give him the benefit of that. He's younger than Henderson and Carroll. Does have more power, 23 home runs compared to, 20 and 21 home runs for the other guys, I think it was. And he's a catcher, so the Pipeline loves catchers. Okay, so last thing I want to do here, I'm just going to rank my top 5. I want to rank my top 5. Number 1, I have Corbin Carroll. Number 2, honestly, I'm putting Jordan Walker at number 2. Jordan Walker is an absolute freak, and he's done so well for his age at his level. I have Jordan Walker at number 2 right now. At number 3, sure, throw Francisco Alvarez in there. I'm fine with it. Catching is a premium. I have heard pitchers like throwing to him at a bare minimum. And he does have spurts of just absolutely elite power. So, sure, Francisco Alvarez at 3. Number 4, I guess, Volpe. And then I'll put Gunnar Henderson at 5. So, yeah, that's my top 5. I don't know. I think Corbin Carroll, he's earned it. If you just look at the stats. Like, I just went over his stats. Gunnar Henderson this year is doing awesome, too. 301 batting average, 423 on base percentage, 969 OPS. But Corbin Carroll's just better in every single aspect. And they're the same age. And then Francisco Alvarez, he has shown that, he's hitting 247. Like, I'm not ranking someone that's hitting 247, but someone that's hitting over 300 with over 1,000 OPS this year. I'm just not, and someone that's literally a 5-tool player. So I am not doing that. Corbin Carroll is the number 1 prospect in baseball for me. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys like this video, as always, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think of the prospect list. Honestly, it's interesting. It is very interesting. I don't know why they threw so many people from the draft in there. Like, even Brock Porter in there, which is crazy. Love Brock Porter. I think he's going to be awesome. But, like, a 4th rounder is wild. So interesting. Don't agree that Corbin Carroll is not the number 1 right now. I think he's the overall number 1 right now, just from what he's done based on the stats. It's not even that I'm a Diamondbacks fan. Like, I'm just going straight off numbers at this point. And he's been awesome this year. Also, there's been a lot of movement in this chart. A lot of up and downs. And usually there's small ups and downs, but there's a lot of huge up and downs. Like, Nick Gonzalez dropped all the way down to 99. Jackson Chirio all the way up at 11, and he was sitting around like 70. So a lot of big movement. Honestly, I think it's fair. I just think the pipeline, the more I look at these lists, I do think they're pretty accurate. I think they do obsess over catchers just a little bit. Like, I'm not putting, they have 3 catchers in the top 10 right now. And like, I just don't think there's 3 catchers like deserving to be in the top 10 right now. So that's the one thing that they just kind of obviously show. And then they definitely have like bias to like Marcelo Meyer, Yuri Perez. Like, those guys, in my opinion, they're not top 10 guys right now. So maybe there will be in the future, because I do think they're studs, but not right now. But yeah, not bad. Not a bad list. Very interesting. A lot of movement. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. You know, let me know your honest opinions in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Who do you think is the number 1 prospect in baseball? Let me know. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.